I'm an old society result. Honestly, way older than your parents, because I was brought in Tibet, which maintained the old culture almost like 1800s. No, 1700s, 18th century Thai style. So beating is one of the tools to get a quality. And probably they don't know other way, nice, kind way as we do today to our kids. We do, and they don't know that. And it's just bad too, really bad too. And if you are grounding kids, and that works here very well, but back in Tibet at that time, will that going to work? No way. Number one, the kid won't even stay, no matter whatever, whoever says, unless they lock you up in a room. I was locked up in a room, And my father beat me up, and I don't know what happened. He locked me in one room. I still do remember. Locked me up in one room. And I broke the window through, and put my head out, and I screamed to the government of Tibet, top of my voice, to the government of Tibet to help me, to protect me. Nobody came. Nobody ever came anywhere. So I did that, So I did get. And then also, my teachers in monastery beat me up quite a lot. And once I went to my parents and saying they're beating me. You know what they told me? This was funny. What they told me, it says, good, the saying in Tibetan, good quality is in the tip of whip. Tip of whip. That's it. That's what I get answer from my parents. So complaining, the beating. So that is how the belief at that time is, and that is how society is a normal functioning. So also for me, when I get these beatings, they're not out of anger. That for sure. They're not out of anger. They may be irritated what I did it, but they're not out of anger. They're out of love. That's for sure. They want you to behave properly. They want you to sit quite right, not slugging. All that, I get pinches here and there all the time, because I didn't sit straight, kept to sit straight. Okay, so I always sit like that. So that's why I get pinched all the time. My thigh is always brown and blue all the time because I get pinched, because I sit like this. Since kids, I don't sit straight properly. Keep your backbone straight. I don't do that. So that's why I get a lot of pinches too. So, but because they want me to be straight, not because they don't want me to be sloppy. And that's the reason why I get pinched. And nothing else. No anger. And so since there is no anger, I don't really see terrible consequences either. I mean, yes, I did see, because I also learned how to beat. And I noticed that in Delhi, in the mid-50s, I have a dog. I used to beat the dog all the time. And the dog, instead of be happy and running, when I came in, they ran away and hid under a chair or bed or something. And I was wondered, and I was so kind to that dog, and why didn't he run to me? And then I realized I've been beating, and I'd really beating the dog, and sometimes it's very embarrassing for me, and I hold the tail up and beat too. And then I stopped completely. As a kid, when I was teaching in monasteries, and I had a big mala, and I used to hit the mala on those senior students who were out. And some of them are later I saw them, the geshis in a different institute in the Tibet, and when I saw them, I remember hitting them. So I was embarrassed. I don't think they're very kind, and they give you the best whatever they have, and still they do that. But still, these are the, when you get beat up and you begin to beat up others. And that's really true. It is my experience. But that doesn't, but one thing did not do is, did not damage my mind at all. Did not damage my mind at all. So yes, beating was habitually, I picked it up. I realized when I was beating the dog. Then I recollect back, hitting the mala everywhere. Everybody, you know, wherever it hits, I go whack, you know. So that's what it is, you know. So beating was definitely picking up by the next generation. And I do not notice anything. But I never see my own faults, right? Other people will see my faults. Because my faults is I refuse to see. Everybody else do the same thing. You refuse to see your own faults unless it is obvious and vivid, so vivid. Otherwise, you don't. What you should see is your own faults. The teachings like this, talks like this, talking, all these are the giving a reflection of your own character. I am providing you a mirror and talking about either myself or human beings' behavior. So you look in that mirror and see whether you yourself has that fault or not. If you notice that fault, first notice, then acknowledge, and then try to change. And that serves the purpose of improving. And if you don't notice, nothing to be changed. So therefore, noticing is important. By looking at once, you want to see everything. You have to look a number of times, from a number of angles. It's like if you have a little problem somewhere, like I do, little pimples or something here, and when you look in the mirror, I won't see it unless I turn around, look in the mirror very carefully, and then I will see it. Just like that, since denial is so important, so much with us, and so we will deny our faults. When you deny your faults, when you look at the matter, you won't see it because you're denying. So you look again and again and again and again and again, right and left and right and left, and then you see it. Then you see it. Sometimes you may shock. Do I do that? Do I do that? That is, and then if you have a nice companion or spouse, and they can tell you without creating problem, gently they can present your fault. And they're good at looking at your fault because they have to live with you. So all the irritations they will see first. So, and if you listen to them, it helps tremendously. The dog, when I was beating, how do I notice? My companion, Dezilla, my wife, Dezilla, was there. And she was always objecting me beating the dog. And then when I picked it up from the tail, she started crying. That crying, why? And then look, I'm holding the dog with the tail and beating with the mala. So then I realized how difficult. She can't stop me, she cried. So companion, your companion, when it's expressed in such a way, then you begin to see it is a problem. Otherwise, you're in a habit. You never see that as a problem. So that is a companion's contribution in your life. In your life. People who would like to say little bit exaggerated, and then the companion will point it out to you, and you will embarrass, you'll stop. There are a lot of things companions can help each other. And I utilize that to improve both life and love, affection, and kindness, compassion to grow. So the compassion is the key for all at the beginning of a practice, at the middle of a practice, at the end of a practice. Compassion is always important, like a seed, important like moisture, fertilizer, etc., important like fruit to be able to be rich, big, nutritious, and all these are compassion. So one of our goals will be to develop compassion, first to yourself. Because if you don't have a compassion to yourself, you can't have a compassion for others. It will be fake smile. So develop that. That is very easy to develop because whatever you wanted, you're not getting it. Whatever you don't want it, you're getting it. That is reality. So pour me, of course. Don't go pour me as me down, but have a compassion for me. Have a love for me. Honestly, thank you.